were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. I can now hear the sailors cry, smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic.
Welcome again, everyone, to this fabulous episode of 3. I'm here with Chris Gray, our master astrologer, and Rainy Day, our psychic medium, and me, I'm your tarot intuitive. And we're here weekly, and this is our second season of the program. And I just want to let you know, hey, if you haven't gotten your tickets for November for our live show at the Composer's Room, go to www.thecomposersroom.com and get your tickets for November, because we'd love to see you in person. We'd love you to have the 3 experience in an actual live vibration in one of the most historic places in Las Vegas. Just letting you know, the Composer's Room has got it all. Also, October 30th, Night of the Witches, nightofthewitches.com. You'll get to meet all 3 of us at this event, and it's a charity fundraiser for our favorite organization, Help Us Southern Nevada. So now we have Tammy that's in our green room right now, and we'll be back right after this message.
Welcome to WWDBTV.com. Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff McGee, and whether you have a phone, a laptop, an iPad, a computer station, this is a phenomenal studio that I've been invited to be one of a group of owners here in Las Vegas. And WWDBTV is a digital platformed provider that you need to know about. If you're coming into Las Vegas and you want to record some video, whether it's an infomercial, commercial, program, spotlight, employee engagement, whether you want to create your own online show, podcast, or program, whether you want to, in essence, come in and record a program that you want to share with people on a personal basis or a professional basis, or whether you want to create a program and even then have a studio station brand you can park it with, where we will co-promote it and put it out there on the internet, as well as on, in essence, Roku and other relationships we have, then this is where you want to stop in. Go to the internet and look us up. If you're watching us right now live, you already know where we are. But if you want to find out more about our operation at WWDBTV, then send us a message and we will connect back with you. We are ready to serve you.
And we're back. We have the fabulous Tammy with us today. Hi, Tammy.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So you're here with Chris Gray, our master astrologer, and Rainy Day, our intuitive medium, and me, I do tarot. Now, I want you to think of a specific question, but I want you to choose one of us to read your question first and address your question first. So who would you like to start with?
Let's start with Rady.
Okay, so what's your question today?
I have recently been separated from my husband after several dozen years. I'm trying to find out if we're able to get back together. He's moving forward and I'm not.
So this gives me a lot of heaviness. Immediately when you were starting to ask your question, my throat felt like I was being choked off from speaking my authentic truth. There's a lot of things that have been left unsaid that need to be said. But my darling, as hard as this is going to be, and again, never trust a psychic medium. You have to go with what resonates. You won't see it now, but a year from now, you're going to see that this was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. I'm a little fearful of being on my own because it's so new to me. But can I tell you, you're going to look back on the time that you are alone as the best time in your life. This is where you start finding out who Tammy really is. This is a blessing in disguise. This is one of those things, let go, let God. Um, do you feel that you haven't been able to always express yourself in your marriage?
Yes.
I think you have so many wonderful, wise, brilliant things to say. And this is a freeing moment for you. This is that fork in the road. Do I go left or do I go right? You've been stagnated for way too long. What is happening this tie? It's fear-based. Fear is imagined. It's not real. So when you actually step over that threshold and really embrace what's happening, you're going to find yourself again. I feel like you've been lost. Is that a fair statement? Who's Tammy anymore?
Yes.
I want
I
your identity to be you, not you and your husband. Go ahead.
I I was a wife, then a mother, now a grandmother, and now
Um,
I have nothing.
oh, you have so much more than what you realize. And that's why this is happening too, because you have had too much comfort and it's kind of stagnated you. And I say that with love and grace because I myself experienced that. It was very scary to leave my first husband with 4 children and not really knowing how am I going to support myself? Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? I want you to reestablish your connection with the Creator because you forgot about that beautiful being that's always watching over you. Everything is happening in its divine timing. You just can't see it right now because fear is clouding you. This is really strange. Um, have you ever thought of starting a daycare? Not in your home, but an actual daycare, maybe purchasing one or starting one that's small?
I've thought about it. It just um,
Don't know how to
nothing
go about
major.
doing it. Go down
No,
to the Small Business Administration. Because you are a woman, you can file as a disadvantaged small woman-owned business. There's a lot of wonderful loans that are well below the rate. They'll help you get going. They'll help you write business plans. My darling, there is a future for you outside of your identity as being a mom, and that's huge. You've raised your children. Now it's time for you. This is making space for you and you don't even know it. So quit swimming against the riptide. If you're familiar with what a riptide is, the harder you swim against it, the further out it takes you. And that's what I feel you're doing. So instead, just swim gently to the side. And before you know it, you'll be out of this riptide. There's a huge, beautiful world waiting for you. Children, you have a beautiful effect on children, especially smaller ones. And you know how hard it is. Well, no, because you've had the advantage and the luxury of being able to stay home. But as a working mom, it was frightening for me to leave my 4-month-old child in a daycare. And I want you to be that loving, tender, I've got you. Your baby is safe. It will be watched over with love and grace. We will take care of this child just as if it were our own. You're going to attract people of like mind. You're going to make a whole business out of this. Is this something you've ever considered?
no. I've had a small business. I'm predominantly been outdoors, um, a ski area, recreation area.
Maybe it's during Lee Canyon. Maybe you get your business license with that, and maybe at Lee Canyon when they're going skiing, you have a little daycare for them. These different little corporate events. Maybe you do like a pop-up daycare because you're licensed and you have a group of people that you can call upon. Honey, there is so much more than just a brick and mortar. Maybe it's starting small out of your home and you take in 2 children and working your way up. But you and children, it's magical. It's beautiful. Um, this is an opportunity. This is not something to fight against. Quit fighting and swimming against the riptide. Any questions?
No, it's just I again I've never been by myself.
Can
I
I tell you? It's just you and me, nobody else. When I left my husband, I was frightened. And I found this beautiful little apartment and I made it my own. And it was stuff donated by friends and family. And I hadn't really been alone. But can I tell you, it was the greatest time of my life. It was such a beautiful way to get to know who I am and regain my identity and find joy. Because right now, and I think for a very long time, because of that fear of being alone and that you've already planted the seed. I've never been alone. Now I have a master's degree in clinical behavioral psychology. When you plant those kinds of seeds, that's what you're going to bring into reality. Dr. Wayne Dyer, our thoughts create our reality. Louise Hay, our thoughts create our reality. So change your thoughts, change your life. That book might help you. Or go on YouTube and see if there's a Wayne Dyer talking about change your thoughts, change your life. I want you to change and turn that around into, I'm looking forward to reconnecting with Tammy. I'm looking forward to creating my own world, my own life. This is a blessing, my love. This is not a curse, and it's not the end of your life. This is just the beginning. This is the second half. So you go out there and you kick ass. And I'm going to leave you with that because you got this. You got this. You're stronger than this, baby. You are stronger than this. Sorry with the finger, but that's what my grandmother would tell me when I would say, but Grandma, I can't. And she'd say, Rainy and Day, you are telling the person that you love that you won't. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch, she got me on that one. You're probably right, Grandma. So change I can into I will. Change, I'm excited for this new door that's opening. Life is good, my darling. Bless you. Reestablish that connection with your creator, too. You're not alone.
All right, Chris.
Thank you.
All about you, baby.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
Okay, so have you ever had your chart read before?
No.
Okay, so you're a Sun Gemini, but your rising is in Libra, and your rising sign is determined by your date of birth, the exact location you were born, as well as the exact time of birth. And so it's very unique to you because you think about how many people have been born, on the same day in the same town at the same time, and it's probably none, maybe one, but so it's very unique to you, and so it starts the beginning of your entire natal chart. So it tells me a lot about who you are, and then certain events and uh, themes that go on in your life, and then also what's going on in your life currently, and we predict like future events from that as well. So with this Libra rising, so if you were to read your horoscope and you were to read Libra, it's going to resonate very strongly with you. And so Libra rising, they're all about partnerships. Libra risings, they don't typically like to be alone. They like to have a partner. They are the best partner too because they're an equal partner and they give so much of themselves in a partnership. They're very committed to partnerships. And also they're very easy to get along with. They're very easygoing. They're just loving and charming. And you specifically, you have your moon in your first house of self. And your moon is, it's technically in Scorpio, but it's still in your first house with that Libra. And so your moon placement rules the way you process your emotions and then also your instincts. And so, first of all, you are incredibly gifted at reading people. Like you're very, very intuitive and instinctual. And but you also have this this aspect to you that you're very nurturing and loving and like an empath, like so very empathetic person, good listener. This is usually the sign that I see of a mother or a mother figure. So your kids maybe growing up, they probably had their friends probably called you mom or something like that. You have that. You're everyone's kind of mom energy, because and I think that's maybe what Rainey was kind of picking up with the children, because there's a couple other placements too that talk about kids. And so this doesn't necessarily have to be small children, but this definitely talks about this nurturing energy. So I don't know. I just see like when your kids come home from school and they have a friend with them and even the friend walks in and be like, "Hi, mom," So you have this great instinct, but also this very gentle, nurturing aspect to you. But before I kind of go into more of your natal chart, I really want to touch on some the current transits that are affecting you because it directly relates to your question. And so, with the being the Libra rising, you're being affected right now by the Aries, Libra, solar, and lunar eclipses. And so, it's a series of eclipses. It started about a year and a half ago. And these eclipses fall in your first house of self and who you are, your life path, your identity. And then the other side, it falls in your seventh house of partnerships. So definitely this is marriage, committed partnerships, long-term partnerships. And so eclipses, they last for, in each series, they last for about 2.5 years. So you've kind of been going through, in fact, I'm going to say you've been going through some eclipses that affect your first and seventh house for, I'm going to go back to probably 2021 is probably when they kind of started. And so what this means for you is that you're kind of doing this dance between who am I, my identity versus how I relate to other people and who I am in relationships. And so what normally happens during this series when they touch your first and seventh house is it's kind of like this phase of it's kind of like evaluating your relationships and the give and take, because being a Libra rising, your relationships can tend to get out of balance, and it's because you're so giving. And so it's kind of a battle. It's a challenge for Libra risings. Balance is so important to them, but yet they're so giving that they tend to sometimes unknowingly get their relationships out of balance. And so you've kind of been since probably about 2021, give or take, probably been going through this series of kind of like a power struggle with people. It's like someone who wants to exert their power over you, or giving away your power unconsciously. But then there's this also effects on the finances too. So it's kind of been ongoing since probably for about 3 years, and then it's going to continue. It's almost done. Here, in the next month or so, we have a new moon solar eclipse that is going to fall in your first house of self. This is going to be very, very impactful for you. A new moon solar eclipse is a new moon, which is new energy, new beginnings, and it falls right in your first house. So within the next month or so, you're going to start really kind of getting a good sense of who you want to be and redefining yourself. And this is like a new direction, but this is a positive new beginning because it is a new moon and it's beautifully aspected in your chart. And so the other end to that is that there may be some severing of relationships. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean severing of a marriage, because sometimes this could literally just be maybe a temporary separation or something. But you definitely need this time to evaluate your relationships, because that is the other end to this, finding out who you are and who you want to be in this life direction. You have to go through these events in your relationships in order to get to that clarity.
Wow. Yeah. Kind of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
All right. It's my turn. Get my cards out. Now, what I always do is whatever I cut to, I'm starting to show the camera. So what I'm showing the camera here is a card that's called the Star in traditional tarot. In my deck, it's called Silence. What this usually means when it comes up in this position is it's a card of you filling yourself up first before you actually try and heal anybody else. So this is saying that for many, many years, you've been giving from your reserves and not from your overflow, because you've been trying to keep things together. You've been trying to keep I'll say it like this, reputation of things together. Because for whatever reason, there's something about the way you're wired is you think that if this relationship breaks up, that everybody's going to think it's your fault, when in fact, it's not your fault. So I'm going to clear the cards here, and then I'm going to, I I actually think that there's been something going on with your husband that has to do with addiction, and I'm getting that very strongly. So I'm drawing the cards right now, and that everybody's been covering up the addiction, or everybody has been oh no, that's just how he is. Oh no, it's your imagination. But what I'm getting here is that this says that the only way the relationship works is if he comes back to you with an open heart and the open idea that he needs help, because you have done nothing wrong. And I really have to stress that, because in your cards here, you've got this card called creativity, and in traditional tarot, that card's called the Empress. It is the highest mother card in any tarot deck. So the Empress is how it's called in traditional tarot. In my deck, it's called creativity. It's reversed. It's almost as if your own motherly instincts have been used against you. So you've been trying to take care of your husband all this time. You've been trying to make him healthy. You've been trying to fill him up. And what it's saying here is it's like a black hole for attention. So everything you try to do to make him feel better, it's like putting $100 bills in a slot machine that never, ever, 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 ever pays back. Okay. Then there's this card called Moment to Moment. I literally think that within the next 2 months, by the end of December at the absolute latest, I get this sort of epiphany moment with you, and then almost in the same instant is an epiphany moment with your husband. All right. The epiphany moment with your husband is that he needs to go outside of himself to get care and help. The epiphany moment with you is, you know what? I don't have to put up with being sad and lonely. There are many other people out there that I can feel connected to that don't have to be my husband. Okay. Because you have the card of the angels right here, base of your reading right here, the conclusion of your little 5-card spread. There are angels around you, and these angels are people that are around you that are willing to be there for you. But because you've been a no, I can do it myself girl most of your life, you don't ask people to spend time with you. You don't ask people for help. I know that the mom thing, if you decided to do a daycare, you decided to take in a couple of kids a week, you would do great, because these kids would give you a sense of Disneyland joy. I mean, seriously, you would be looking at the world through their eyes, and how your impact makes them happy. All right. There's a huge soul satisfaction connected with that. All right. And you're natural at it. You're the one person that can connect with the troubled kid in the room and make that kid feel like he's normal, or she's normal. Right. So you could actually deal with kids that are on the spectrum, might be a bit ADD or a bit autistic, but you would be the mom figure, the Aunt Tammy figure that would make this kid feel normal. All right. What's interesting is that your natural predisposition is to bring harmony to chaos. And unfortunately, you don't have that outlet with your husband right now, because the chaos with him you were used to. It was the devil in the room, but it was the devil in the room that you were used to. All right. See, now I'm seeing angels enter the room, not devils. I'm seeing healed, normal people that are full of love entering your circle, not people that need you to help them or heal them in some way. So I'm agreeing with both of my other fabulous intuitives here that these next 3 months are about healing for you, and that it'll be the choice whether you want to be with your husband moving forward, not the other way around.
We have in Clark County a place called Safe Nest, Safe Haven, and it's run by Department of Family Services. Yeah. And can I tell you, there is nothing like holding a brand new baby who's been abandoned by their mother, no father, no family, and giving that baby so much love. Your heart is 143 huge. On the clock. Oh, tell them what 143 is.
So 143, there's 1 letter in the word I, there's 4 letters in the word love, and there's 3 letters in the word you. So when you see 143 on the clock, it's the universe telling you, I love you.
Those babies need you. And can I tell you, by looking in their eyes, they're going to turn your light back on. Your light has been dim for a long time, and that light being dim is not who you are. You are this beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, inside and out, brilliant, bright light. There's a book called The Four Agreements, and the second
I love that one.
agreement is do not take anything personally. This truly is not being done at you or to you, like Mona said, addiction, things like that. This is not your fault, but this is an opportunity. Chris, I know, is dying to say something too.
So the healing is really prominent in her chart. In her natal chart, she has this placement that's connected to lucky planet Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet in astrology. And it's right smack dab next to the wounded healer. And it's in your fifth house of children. And so when these two get together, it talks about finding healing through following your heart, your passion, also through children. Right now, the wounded healer is transiting. It just began like within the last couple weeks. It just started touching your seventh house of partnerships. So if you're not feeling it already, once it gets a little further into your chart, so I'm going to give it maybe a month from now, you're going to start finding opportunities to connect with people, like Mona said, because there's a lot of people who love you a lot.
Oh my God.
And so you're going to have these connections, and through those connections and those relationships, you're going to have so much healing. It's very, very strong coming into her partnerships right now.
And these children that I keep seeing coming into your home, potentially fostering, being paid to foster, and they're just a few children at a time, just a couple little babies. Can I tell you that bond, you are setting them up for success, setting them up for life, and you are now starting to spread your heart onto others. It's like I'm paying it forward. You may never see that child again, but you really are giving that child that bonding, that
Foundation.
yes, you are the foundation. You've always been the foundation of your house.
I want to add to that too, as far as timing goes. So you have this transit that's going on, and it's going actually through your fifth house of children. So at this moment, you might not feel like that resonates or that is something that you want to do, but I would give it at least another 6 to 8 months and you will be ready. Probably, I mean, maybe, 6 to 8 months from now, this transit's going to move on. But while it's here in this fifth house, it can feel kind of restricted. And so I don't feel like maybe the timing is right specifically to like foster. I almost said fostering, but volunteering, the safe haven,
great.
maybe kind of get your feet wet in that if that's something that you're interested in. But so it may kind of feel like that it's the time's not right, but probably in the next 6 to 8 months, it will start kind of feeling more right too. Also, you're going to get some healing because it looks like there's something connected to your childhood. That is usually, when I see this, it's someone who grew up in kind of a very kind of controlled, restricted environment. Usually it's like strict father or a strict authority figure. And so this healing, there's a lot of healing that's going to come through just connections. I mean, it could just be volunteering as well.
So Tammy, would you tell us some feedback about your experience here today on 3?
Eye-opening, heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
I was a foster mom for my niece's baby when she was born. I did that for the baby's first year, and that's when the issues flared. It was during COVID, and the issues between my husband and I started to be amplified.
Do you think he was jealous of the attention that this baby was getting away from him?
Well, he's now taken the baby now, who's 4.5, is attached to him.
Oh.
And she will not, when he's in the room, that's the only person she sees.
Wow.
And we were never able to have a daughter, and
Right.
I knew he wanted to have a daughter. But when we picked the baby up from Child Haven at 5 weeks, through that first year and still going through, it has been her mother has been the reason for our separation.
Okay, I got to
She-
point out something. Wait. There's a light that is shining across your face that when you look at this video, you're going to see this light shining across your face. And the reason I want you to notice that is because it is for you to have your voice and find your voice and speak your truth, because it's beaming right on your face. Do you guys see that?
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say that honestly. I swear to you.
Like she's
Swear
being
to you.
lit up by the
So
divine.
it's
And we were
almo-
talking about you shining your light bright.
Right. So it's almost as if there's a magic wand literally across the center of your face that is this bright light going across your face. That bright light can be the face that a little new being on this world sees, and that your face becomes the image of light to that new being, right? But I'm telling you, you still gave your niece the right foundation, even though she bonded with your ex-husband. You realize that she bonded with your, and I'm calling him your ex-husband because I think that your karmic obligation to this man is done,
Gone.
and that you could end up being his friend. You might even end up going to Golden Knights games together or going out to dinner together.
Sharing custody of this beautiful
Right,
child.
right. But I actually think there's another romance coming towards you as soon as you decide that your karmic obligation with your soon-to-be ex-husband is done. Now, you guys might not even get divorced, but the perspective that you have toward him is going to be different moving forward. And it's going to be you filling yourself up first before anybody else gets a piece of you. So,
And I have to say, every little girl wants their daddy. And so don't take it personally. Please don't, because she loves you. And the mom is always the one that says, don't do this, don't do that. And dad's always the one, come on, let's go motorcycle riding.
Yeah, they're the
Dad's
they're
the fun one.
parent.
So you get, like Mona said, the
Right.
foundation has been laid. And my darling, you've done your work.
I think it's time for you to have fun, but I think you've forgotten how to do that. Just
Most
saying.
likely.
Yeah. Although if I do know you well enough to know that the Golden Knights do kind of turn your head. Just saying. Just saying. Anything else you want to add, Chris?
The new possibility of a new romance.
Right.
I could definitely see that. I actually was going to mention it, but I'm like, oh, maybe it's not time. But there is something in your chart that says if you're open to it, it would be a very healing relationship. It would be like probably the love of your life.
And don't get a room at Red Rock, because when you start rocking, it's going to be way too loud.
Yeah.
Inside joke. But honey, get your groove on. What's that movie?
Stella got her groove
Would
back.
you please watch that movie?
That movie came to my mind like 1 minute ago.
Go, girl, bound chicken now. That's all I'm going to say. Have fun.
I'm not going to Jamaica.
All right, Tammy, thank you so much for being a part of the program. It was a delight to have you. And I know you're going through some really big stuff right now, but you're going to get on the other side of it. And you're going to come back on our program and tell us what happened in about 3 months. Okay? All right. Thank you,
promise.
Tammy.
Bye, Tammy.
All right, you guys, thank you again for such another fabulous episode. And make sure you go to thecomposersroom.com for our next live show of 3 at the Composers Room, composersroom.com. And by the way, remember, you can still get tickets for nightofthewitches.com. You'll get to visit with the 3 of us and raise money for a really great organization, Help Us Southern Nevada. In the meantime, have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll see you next time.